The Yakuza is a term that in Japanese culture is associated with organized crime. The word often evokes images of ruthless gangsters in sharp suits with clearly defined traditions and rituals, as well as a powerful but informal network of criminal organizations. The Yakuza plays a significant role in Japanese society, though it operates outside the law. But when and how did the Yakuza emerge? What historical and social factors led to their formation? The roots of the Yakuza, beginnings in the Edo period. The Yakuza in its modern form began to develop in Japan at the end of the Edo period, 1603–1868. However, their roots go deeper into earlier times when various forms of street gangs and groups engaged in criminal activity existed in Japan. The term Yakuza itself comes from a Japanese gambling game called Hanpaku. In this game, the combination of the numbers 893 was considered a losing hand, unlucky, which became associated with groups of people who were on the periphery of society and were not accepted in the higher echelons. Early forms of organized crime. During the Edo period and early Meiji period, 1868 to 1912, Japan saw various street gangs involved in extortion, drug trade, and different forms of violence. During this period, there were groups known as ryozoku, criminal factions that protected merchants' interests and carried out various black market jobs. These gangs controlled local markets and shielded local vendors from competitors and local authorities. At the same time, groups such as Toyo, old men, which later became the foundation of the Yakuza, emerged. These groups followed strict codes of honor, emphasizing loyalty and respect for elders. Their code of honor resembled the samurai customs of medieval Japan. The Meiji era and the transition to modernity. The Meiji period, starting in the late 19th century, was a time of significant transformation for Japan. The country began to open up to the world, underwent industrialization, and strengthened its central government. During this time, new forms of organized crime began to appear. Many former samurai who could not adapt to the changes in society lost their status and at times turned to crime. These individuals became the leaders and members of the first Yakuza clans. They applied the traditions of the samurai, such as the strict code of honor, like the Bushido Code, as the foundation for the operation of their groups. At this time, criminal organizations began to take part in shadow economic sectors, gambling, prostitution, illegal trade, as well as profiting from ties with corrupt politicians and businessmen. It was during this period that the Yakuza started to form as an organized criminal structure with clear hierarchies, rituals, and loyalty. The 20th century, the formation of major clans. By the early 20th century, the Yakuza continued to evolve and grow. One of the most famous and powerful clans during this period was the Yamaguchi-gumi, founded in 1915. This clan became one of the most influential and largest in Japan. Its members included both traditional Japanese people and individuals of other nationalities, reflecting the growth of international connections within the Yakuza. After World War II, Japan experienced new economic and social conditions that contributed to the rise of organized crime. Many people, having lost jobs and property due to the destruction, began seeking ways to survive in the new environment. The Yakuza provided people with a place in their structure, offering protection, jobs, and money. This led to further expansion of the Yakuza's influence in Japanese society, especially in the economy. Social structure of the Yakuza. The Yakuza has a strict hierarchy. At the top is the Oyabun, the father or senior brother, who leads the clan, and his subordinates are called Kobun, the children or junior brothers. It's important to note that in the Yakuza, a lot of emphasis is placed on relationships and loyalty. Every member must follow a code of honor and be ready for self-sacrifice for the benefit of the clan. The Yakuza differs from many other criminal organizations in that it is deeply integrated into Japanese society. Yakuza members often run legitimate businesses such as construction companies, car sales firms, gambling establishments. This helps them legalize their income and maintain a higher degree of invisibility. Rituals and the Code of Honor. The Yakuza's rituals are often associated with samurai traditions. For example, one of the most famous customs is yakumi, finger cutting. This ritual is related to the fact that Yakuza members must give part of themselves for mistakes or wrongdoings. This is done by cutting off part of the little finger, symbolizing atonement for sins and devotion to the clan. In addition to such sacrifices, the Yakuza is also known for its initiation ceremonies, where newcomers are sworn into the clan and commit themselves to senior members. These rituals create deep bonds between members and reinforce their loyalty to the clan. The Yakuza today. Today, the Yakuza still exists, although its influence on society has significantly diminished. Since the early 1990s, the Japanese government has tightened laws aimed at fighting organized crime. Changes to the Yakuza law and the establishment of special police units to combat this phenomenon have played a role. Many older clans have disbanded or lost their influence, and new criminal groups tend to operate more secretly. Nevertheless, the Yakuza remains a part of Japanese culture. Some clans continue to exist despite the prohibitions, and their members are still loyal to strict codes of honor and traditions. Conclusion. The formation of Yakuza clans occurred at the intersection of traditional Japanese societal and cultural norms and new economic and social realities. The Yakuza represents a unique form of organized crime that combines elements of Japanese tradition, criminal activity, and social structure. While the Yakuza's influence in Japan has waned, the organization remains an important part of the country's history and culture.